for bite-sized videos when it comes to topics like WordPress and blogging? If yes, then Blogging Unplugged Clips is for you. Hello guys, I'm Jasmeet, and on this channel I will be sharing clips from my main channel Blogging Unplugged almost every single day. Now if you are into bite-sized informational content, then make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel and turn on the post notification bell. And with that said, let's dive into the video.
Now coming to the first feature that has been introduced in Elementor Pro 3.11, and that is the new Loop Carousel widget. Now this widget is very similar to the Loop Grid widget that was introduced in Elementor Pro 3.8, and the only difference that you will see is that now the items will be displayed in an infinite loop instead of a grid. Now the settings will be different, but the process of creating a template is exactly the same. Now before we visit the Elementor editor and see this new widget in action, what I am going to do is I'm going to take you to features in Elementor, which is right here. This tab was earlier called, before Elementor 3.11, it was called experiments, so now it's called features. So I have discussed this in my previous video on the free version of Elementor 3.11. okay, so go check that video out after this if you want to. Now you need to check here, if you want to use the Loop Carousel widget, then this loop feature has to be active. It comes active by default, so you can see default is right here and the feature is active. You can see it says active by default. In case it is not, then you can select either active or default and it will activate the loop, both the loop grid and the carousel widgets, right? Then you will be able to use them. Now let's head over to the Elementor editor and see this widget in action. So here we are in the Elementor editor, and you will find the Loop Carousel widget under the Pro section right next to the Loop Grid widget. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag and drop this Loop Grid widget here. Now, as I told you before, the process of creating a template is exactly the same. So you can see it has exactly the same options right here. Choose a template. It will be for either for posts and products. Based on this selection, basically the queries will change inside. So I'll get to that part later. So for right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just select post. Now another thing that you will have to know here is that in case you have created a template for the Loop Grid widget, then you will be able to use that template in Loop Carousel as well. So that will save you a lot of time. If you have already created a template, then you can select it from this drop down right here. Now for right now, I do not have any templates inside this setup. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click create right here, click save, and it will take me to this sort of an editor. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add a featured image, go back, and the post title, and then I'm going to add a post excerpt. Right, this is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to click save, and I'm going to go back. I'm going to move this down right here. So you can see now instead of displaying all of these items in a grid, it displays it as a carousel, right? You can see there are arrows here and there are arrows here which are not properly visible right now, but you can see there are other pages as well, other slides. Basically in the carousel you have slides, right? So you have these slides as well, so we can scroll right like this, or I can use these arrows here, and you can see how easy it is to scroll, right? Now coming to some of the settings, right? So you can see equal height is active right here. The number of slides is here. Slides to display you can change based on you can select different breakpoints and then select the sides to display. Same is for the sides on scroll. The next one is the queries. So in case you want to include anything or exclude anything, you can click right here and select based on terms and authors. Okay, you can ignore sticky posts, you can order them, you can select based on dates or queries. Next is the settings, right? So this is where you can set how this basically infinite loop will behave. Basically it is on autoplay right now, so I can close it and you will see half of the settings will disappear. Now it is not on autoplay. Before you could see it was looping itself, but now it is not. And if I will activate it, and you will see it will start looping again itself. You can see it automatically loops, right? I was waiting just for this thing, right? Now you can pause on hover as well. You can see it is active. So if I will be hovering on this on the widget, on basically this template right here, it will not it will pause, it will not autoplay itself. Then pause on interaction is another thing. So if I'm clicking right here or somewhere here, it will just stop, right? The next thing is the transition duration, which is this one, and the direction is towards the left. So you can see it is going towards the left. I can select right as well. The next one is the navigation, and you can see you can choose custom icons, upload your own as well, and you can see you can display arrows and you can remove them as well. So you can see there are no arrows now. Okay, the next thing is the pagination, and you can display dots here, fractions here. You can see 1/4, so there are 4 slides, right? And progress here as well. So progress bar comes on top, right? So you can see, so I can scroll and you can see how the progress bar is completing or not. Rest, as far as the style settings are concerned, you can see them right here. You can set the gap between the slides, the navigation you can set, and the pagination. So this is a basic first look of the Loop Carousel widget, very similar to the Loop Grid widget that we have discussed before. You can use this widget. Let me know what you feel about it, and then we'll go from there, right? Now before we move forward, there was an error with the kind of setup that I had created actually. So what was happening was I did add the post title, but it didn't drag onto the canvas properly. So that was why the post title wasn't showing. And I while rechecking everything, I just saw this thing not working correctly when I actually had added it. As far as the excerpt is concerned, I did not basically add excerpt on any of these posts that I've created here. So that is one reason why excerpt isn't displaying. So those are the two things that I wanted to clarify before I publish this video. So again, in case you have any queries, this widget is working exactly how it is supposed to work for right now. It did work exactly the same way when I created the article as well. So there are no problems. Actually, there was a problem that I didn't recheck the setup again, and I went on to explain the settings rather than fixing the Loop Carousel widget. So I apologize for that. But you can see now the post, now the titles are working, but there is no excerpt because I haven't added that in the post itself. So that is the thing.
Now I hope you have found this video helpful, and if you did, then make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the post notification bell. In case you have any queries, feel free to comment down below and I will try and help. Also, the links to our socials are in the description box below. Make sure to follow us on other platforms as well. And with that said, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.